Good morning, everyone. Welcome once again to Blockchain World 2.0, a bold and enlightening journey into the evolving world of digital assets and innovation. This program is proudly brought to you by Diaspora Digital Media, DDM, in partnership with Digital Assets Management Academy, DAMA, that is headquartered in Abuja, a leading institution committed to equipping Africans with future-ready skills in blockchain, cryptocurrency, and AI. Today, we delve into a profound question, one that defines the direction of 21st century digital economy. Crypto, AI, and ownership, who really control the future? In an era where algorithms decide what we see, platforms hold our data, and decentralized systems promise freedom, who truly owns our digital tomorrow? Is it the government, corporations, or can individually reclaim control through blockchain and AI innovation? To help us unpack this complex and timely topic, we are joined by two respected instructors from Digital Assets Management Academy, DAMA. Mr. Moses Obaje, popularly known as AI Prof. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be with you this morning, Mr. Ibrahim.
Thank you. And our digital mama, Mrs. Shifra Poluma. You are welcome, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning. Both are pioneers in digital literacy and with a passion for technology and empowering ordinary people to navigate the crypto space with wisdom and confidence. As always, I remain Ibrahim Umar Wase, your host, and with me is my ever-energetic and vibrant co-host, Mr. Tochukwu Raphael. Mr. Tochukwu Raphael, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me. I welcome our guests, Mr. Obaje and Mrs. Poloma.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please don't forget, keep your microphone muted during the session unless called upon, and feel free to use the chat to share your thoughts or drop your questions. We'll get to them during the question and answer session. Once again, thank you for being here. This is Blockchain 2.0. Mr. Obaje, before we delve properly into today's topic, please remind us briefly, what did we cover last week and what stood out that sets the tune for today's topic on ownership and control in the digital age?
All right, thank you, Mr. Ibrahim, and good morning to all our listeners and viewers today. Last week, we looked at the topic how to distinguish between legitimate blockchain and cryptocurrency projects and from Ponzi schemes. All right, and one thing that we also looked at in the course of our discussion that very day was what is Ponzi scheme and how does it work? Where we said Ponzi schemes are schemes that literally looks as if they are authentic schemes with reference to blockchain and cryptocurrencies, but they are not. They are not at all. And also, we talked about how they work. We used an analogy where we talked about you rob Peter to pay Paul. That's how those schemes are arranged, whereby some people who are not knowledgeable will think they are crypto-based or authentic cryptocurrency projects, of which they are not. And We also looked at the key features of a legitimate blockchain and cryptocurrency project, which we talked about transparency, we talked about immutability, we talked about the clear purpose and utility of the crypto-based projects. We talked about the open source code base of legitimate cryptocurrency projects. We talked about independent security audits and what have you. These are key features that separate
I think Mr.
Ponzi schemes and sorry, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Oh, all right, thank you. A call interrupted me. So also, we looked at does the project have a real product? When we talked about when we talk about utility, yes, real crypto-based projects have use cases which we call utility. But if you look at Ponzi schemes are schemes that do not really have a product per se or a service that they render. They solely depend on the influx of people coming into that platform, and whereby the registrations or the means of funds collection from those who are just coming in, the newbies, are used to pay those who are already existing on the platform. And once there is low inflow of funds, those projects tend to die. All right. So that's why they don't have real products or real projects that they are running on when we talk about Ponzi schemes. But real cryptocurrency projects or blockchain products have a sort of utility, a problem that they have come to solve. And then also, like I rightly said in the beginning, crypto Ponzi schemes are not that transparent. You might not know the real people behind the project. You might not even know their names. You don't know where they are coming from, what they do. But in some sort of blockchain and cryptocurrency projects, you know who are the developers, what they are doing. You know them by their faces or by their names, problems or such projects that they have come to handle in the past. And so in cryptocurrency, nobody is promised a high level of return, but in Ponzi schemes, you see that the level of return is so high. And I said on that day that if it is too good to be real, then it is too good to call it a Ponzi scheme. All right. So, and most Ponzi scheme projects are not verifiable on the blockchain, but authentic cryptocurrency based products or businesses are built on the blockchain, and you can at any point in time access them, access informations about such products on the blockchain. And also finally, you see that you have independent reviews, you have independent audits on legitimate cryptocurrency and blockchain-based businesses, while it is not possible on the Ponzi scheme project. So, in summary, Ponzi schemes are just scams. They are not legitimate, they're illegitimate, while cryptocurrency-based projects are legitimate projects that can run for a long period of time, for decades, without collapsing. But Ponzi schemes run within a short period of time and then they die off. So that's the summary of what we did last week. So thank you for giving me the privilege to give a recap of what we did last week.
Mr. Thank you, sir, for giving us an insight on what we treated last week. Now we move into the heart of today's dialogue. Mrs. Poloma, what is ownership in the digital world, and how is it different from physical ownership as we traditionally understand it?
Thank you, Ibrahim and DDM, for having us this Wednesday. And good day, compliments of the day to all our viewers and listeners this morning. Yeah, what is ownership? When you talk about ownership, is what you own. what belongs to you. And we have ownership now that blockchain technology has come to stay. And then we have what we call physical ownership. Digital ownership principally refers to control of digital assets. Control of digital assets. And these assets are varied. You could have digital files, such as documents, such as images, such as videos, such as music that you can store digitally. Then we have what we call the cryptocurrencies as well. They are assets that we own that have value, as in we can trade and spend them, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Bodyscan AI. These are cryptocurrencies that are in form of finances. We call them fintech in the fintech world. Then we have what we call non-fungible tokens. These are unique digital assets that represent either arts or collectibles or virtual goods. Then we have digital identities, like our online profiles, our usernames, and avatars that we use in the space. We equally have digital ownership differs from physical ownership in several ways. When you own something, ownership is physical. For example, my house, my car, my other valuable goods that I can touch, I can carry and keep safe, something like that. And these are tangible things that we see physically, touch them, and then move them around. Possession in the physical ownership is when you possess physically. For you to transfer ownership, it needs documentation. And these physical possessions you can incur losses on them. For example, if there's theft, fire disaster, or natural disaster can happen to your physical assets. But in the digital space, what you own is intangible. It can be replicated, whereas physically you cannot replicate a house unless you build another one that looks like it. In the digital space, whatever asset that you own can be transferred. The transfer does not need you to go and do documentation as you would in when you have a physical asset. And then the storage system that we have as well. Digital assets are stored in digital devices. So they are not things that you cannot move around as in when you have your home. For example, if you are going to Abuja, you can't say you are carrying your home to Abuja. You understand? But if it were a digital asset that has been, is on the blockchain, it's easily transferable without any bringing in a lawyer to do transfer of documents, deed of assignment, and things like that. And when we talk about the security of ownership in the digital space, the assets, though they may be vulnerable to hacking and theft and data breaches, but then with adequate knowledge that you have, you can keep your passwords, your usernames, you can keep them safe with adequate knowledge that will lead you not to, encounter security breaches. So on a general note, in the blockchain technology, for example, NFTs a new form of digital ownership, allowing for verifiable ownership, transfers, and unique scarcity. So overall, digital ownership requires a different understanding. That is why education is key. How to possess, how to control, and how to value your assets, how to keep them safe compared to the physical ownership, where today, if there's natural disaster, there's nothing you can do. And that is why we have insurance. We insure our cars, we insure our houses, we insure our properties. And for you to move them, you can't do them in an instant as you would when you have digital assets. So generally, on a general note, I think these differences impact ownership as perceived. So it requires a lot of information, knowledge, for one to be able to determine how valuable digital assets are in today's world. Thank you.
Right, thank you. The difference is very clear between the physical and digital ownership. Now, let's have a deeper conversation into the difference between traditional banks and the blockchain, or should I say cryptocurrency, in terms of control over these digital assets. So, Mr. Obaje, how does cryptocurrency give people more control over their money and other digital assets compared to traditional banks?
All right, you're talking about custody and ownership, right?
Yes.
If I get you right. How does cryptocurrency give people more control over their money compared to traditional?
Yeah.
All right, there are several ways that cryptocurrency give people more control over their money compared to traditional banks. I'll just outline a few of them. Number one is self-custody and ownership. She just talked about ownership, all right? Now, in cryptocurrency, you control your funds directly via what we call private keys. That gives you access to your funds at any point in time. Now, if you hold your cryptocurrency or your token in a personal wallet, no one, including government or banks, can freeze or seize it without access to your keys. So for the government to have access, they must have your private keys. But in the banks, your money is stored under the bank's custody, and banks can decide to freeze, to limit, or deny you access to your account under certain conditions. Maybe there might be legal disputes, there might be technical glitches or system errors or government orders. They might decide to deprive you that custody or access to your funds or your money. Another issue that differentiates it is access. Now, let me put it as borderless access. Borderless access. In cryptocurrency, you can send or receive cryptocurrencies globally 24/7. There is no timeline. You don't need any approval from intermediaries, all right? Or you don't pay what we call high cross-border fees for you to move or to receive or to send cryptocurrency globally. So it's a 24-hour cycle. It's a 1 week complete cycle. It's a monthly complete cycle. It is a continuum. There is no breakage. But in banks, when we talk about access, let's talk about, like I said, borderless access. International transfers are slow. They take certain processes, they are expensive, and then they often require multiple banks, from this bank to this bank, from this bank to this bank, which we call, I think, SWIFT systems. And they are also, how do I put it? There is this regulatory oversight. Where are these funds going to? What are they meant for? You understand? Who is the recipient? Who is the sender? Why is he sending? But in cryptocurrency, you don't have such let's say blockages, all right, or a lot of need to do terms before you can make your transfer. So your transfers are very fast, they are less expensive, and there are no need for intermediaries, just like the local banks. And then we have this 24/7 availability. Now, cryptocurrency operates around the clock, like I mentioned, 24/7. Blockchain networks do not close. On weekends, they are there. On holidays, they are there. During the working hours, they are there. But traditional banking hours limits when you can perform certain actions. Yes. Though, as we are moving into the digital and AI era, banks are beginning to key into that line. But even up to today, there are certain restrictions that there are some transactions that you cannot do from the comfort of your home until you get into the banking hall. So, traditional banking hours limit when you can perform certain actions. Maybe, like now, you want to make a withdrawal of 100 million naira. In the country where I'm coming from, Nigeria, that will be a huge task. You must be in the bank. You must be in the bank, and you must follow some certain protocols before you can do that such a huge amount of withdrawal. All right? Even 10 million, even 5 million, there are restrictions. So that's why we see that cryptocurrency is having an edge over our traditional banking system. Then we have reduced fees. Peer-to-peer transactions are cheaper on the blockchain and cryptocurrency. Let's say for a large sum of remittances, depending on the network, it is cheaper. All right, when you are sending from Bitcoin versus Lightning, Ethereum versus layer 2 solutions, they are cheaper when compared to banks, because bank charges fees for transfers, for maintenance, for overdrafts, for international transactions, and many more. And when you combine these fees, they come in large chunk. And then there is transparency and auditability. Now, in cryptocurrency, public blockchains are transparent, like we also know, based on knowledge that have been sent out. Anyone can audit the ledger. You are an auditor. You can go and see what is happening as far as this transaction is concerned. You can verify transactions and the balances. It is not a secret. All right. But in banks, banks operate privately. They operate privately. Customers have limited visibility into how their funds are used or how their funds are moved with regards to banks. And then when we look at programmability and smart contracts, funds can be programmed. When let's assume, I think I used smart contract as a case study some other time, that funds can be released when certain conditions are met. Just like the smart meters we have, whereby once your payment or your subscription finishes, light goes off your house. It's a smart contract. And once payment is made, lights come up. These are because certain conditions have been met. But in banks, it is limited to predefined products. Programmability is limited, and in most cases, they require intermediaries. Let's assume you want to go and take a huge bank loan. There might be collateral, and there might be sureties or guarantors that are required. These are third parties. But in cryptocurrency, you don't need that. Once it is programmed, it executes itself once certain conditions are met. So, but there are caveats. There are caveats. Now, in cryptocurrency, there is full responsibility, okay? And then, well, let's say with full controls, when you have full control, you have full responsibility. If you lose your private keys, for instance, or send funds to wrong address, there's no recovery. You take up the cross, okay? And there is this volatility that we always talk about, that cryptocurrencies are volatile in nature. They are more volatile than fiat currencies, which can affect stability. Fiat currencies are much more stable than cryptocurrencies. And then we look at regulation and security. Because in cryptocurrencies, there are some sort of lack of regulation in some areas, which makes cryptocurrency more prone to scams and fraud if users aren't careful. But in the banks, you have that level of security. Okay, where did this fund move to which account? Who is the owner of the account that this fund? Maybe you make a wrong transfer, that account can be recovered, and maybe your funds retrieved. But in cryptocurrency, once a transaction goes on, since you have full control, you have full responsibility, there is nothing that can be done. Thank you. That's the comparability that I can give with regards to cryptocurrency and our banking system, our traditional banking systems. Thank you.
I must say that you have given an elaborate description of the comparison between the traditional banking system and cryptocurrency. And it has a lot of advantages that many people would prefer to go with it. So thank you very much. But let's see the role or the influence of artificial intelligence, because that is another thing that is coming up in the modern world. It's fast taking over the space. Mrs. Poloma, what is the influence, or how does artificial intelligence influence our decision in cryptocurrency?
Thank you, Tochukwu. In today's world, artificial intelligence is already influencing decisions in our lives. Those of us that are conversant with the setup today, we have virtual assistants, we have smart homes, and we have personalized recommendations, AI-driven virtual assistants like Alexa, Google Assistants, are available. They provide tailored suggestions. For example, even when you're using your keyboard, as you are typing, it can, because of the use of artificial intelligence, it predicts the word you're typing, what you're typing, you understand? So these are Google Assistants, we have Google Assistants like Siri, like Alexa, like Google Assistants that help to provide tailored suggestions based on the user's behavior and preferences. And we equally have smart homes. These are AI-powered systems that control either temperature. Even, for example, maybe there are some hotels when you go to, or there are some homes when you go to. The moment you enter, the light comes on, turns on. When you are about to leave, the light will go off by itself. You understand? So our lighting systems, temperature systems, and security systems in the homes as well become more comfortable and efficient. Why? Because you don't need to do those physical switching on and off that ordinarily you would do. That is as per virtual assistants. In the healthcare system as well, we have artificial intelligence is helping the algorithm to analyze medical images to detect diseases like cancer, heart conditions, and other neurological disorders. Also, under the healthcare, we have personalized medicine as well. I will cite an example with our body scan AI. The upcoming app that is in development that will soon be deployed will take care of this healthcare aspect, in as much as, yes, we have others in the market, but not on blockchain as we have, as what will come up in the app that is being developed for body scan AI. This app, when it comes into being, it is powered by artificial intelligence. So it will analyze your medical images, detect what is wrong with you, and give you a personalized, plan based on the genetic makeup that is in your system. And then it will give you a medical history that you own. It's not for anybody, as you would when you go to the hospital. It's not physical. And then it can predict, health outcomes. And then it will enable early interventions as well. That is what body scan AI, one of the tokens that we have that will come into being. And then in the transportation sector, we know Tesla. All of us know Tesla. Automobile. We know a vehicle made by Tesla that is self-driven. And this is powered by artificial intelligence. We equally have chatbots. We have ChatGPT, Chat AI, and their likes that you can just maybe speak to your phone and then ask a question. It will give you an answer. Or even as we are on air now in our Zoom meeting, if we make use of the transcriber, the artificial intelligence transcription, it will transcribe whatever we are doing as we are performing the action now. It will be giving us the transcription of our interaction as we're doing now. So, and then when we look at in the educational sector as well, we have what we call personalized learning. AI platforms adopt individual learning styles according to the learner's ability. And then it provides styles and customized content, and resources for learning. And then it can even predict learning outcomes and enable educators as well to intervene in proactively. There are other areas, even the body scan AI I spoke about earlier, under health. It has come up with a financial service to it, whereby we have token already that is deployed is already deployed and is tradable as well. So imagine an app that is powered by artificial intelligence, handling, you invest, giving you value is an asset. And at the same time, the app, when it comes into play, is going to take care of your health. So that is the power of artificial intelligence. We equally have agriculture too, data, soil, and weather analysis to optimize farming, makes use of artificial intelligence. We have smart agriculture across some areas in the world. And all these are powered by artificial intelligence. So AI certainly is profoundly impacting lives, and it will continue to impact lives because we have not seen anything yet with the trending artificial intelligence that we have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our digital mama. In short, she said AI powers recommendation engines, hiring algorithms, loan approval, health diagnostics, even what news we see. Yet few people understand this power. Thank you very much. Now let's switch gear slightly. Coins, the coins we're using in cryptocurrency is more than just money. It is power. So, Mr. Obaje, I want to ask you this question. how do we protect what is ours? You know, blockchain technology helps us prove and protect ownership of digital assets. How exactly does that work?
All right. Confirm you can hear me. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. You are audible.
All right. All right. Thank you. Now, the answer to your question is number one, I'll say yes. All right. Because I know very well, even when I'm in sleep, that blockchain technology helps us prove and protect ownership of digital assets. Now, you asked how. Remember, we said one of the credence of blockchain and cryptocurrency is immutable record of ownership. Now, how does it work? A blockchain records transactions or transfer of an asset in a secure chronological order and tamper-proof ledger. So once it is recorded, it cannot be tampered, and it is one step at a time. One point, once that block is
I think
confirmed,
Mr.
it is
Okay.
added. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, loud and clear.
All right, let's assume you buy a digital artwork because it's an asset, an artwork that is digital. It's an artwork as an NFT, which we call non-fungible tokens. Now, it cannot be altered without consensus from the network. You cannot tamper with it. You cannot change anything. And that's why I said, if you remember in one of my teachings, I said it's not possible that you alter it on my own system, alter it on Digital Mama's system or Mr. Tochuku's system at the same time. It is not possible. That's why it is tamper-proof. If you feel you can succeed on my system, you cannot succeed on the system because it is recorded on all nodes, on all nodes. Number two, we have transparency and verifiable proof. Now, blockchain data is publicly accessible. Nothing is hidden. It is on public blockchains. Now, anything that is on the public blockchain allows anyone to verify who owns what and when they acquired it. Let's assume now I bought a token yesterday by 12 noon. When you go to the blockchain, it will give you that privilege and opportunity to show that I am the owner of this token and I bought it by 12. However, you can only identify by wallet address, but not me as a personality. Yes, it will identify me by my wallet address. So you cannot know that it is Moses that has this token that was bought by 12 noon, except you have access to my wallet address. So it is open. It is open. Why it matters is because this removes the need for a central authority to validate claims of ownership. You are the owner. It is transferable and it is verifiable. You can move from one domain to another digitally, and nobody will know that you are the one moving, but they can see it is verifiable that a movement has occurred, but you cannot physically see who made that movement by its name, all right, or by its location, all right, but you can determine that via its own wallet address. Now, another thing is secure transfers without intermediaries. I've made mention of that. With cryptocurrency, ownership can be transferred from one person to another through what we call self-executing contracts or smart contracts, and this occurs on the blockchain, which handles transactions automatically. This also reduces fraud. it cuts out a middleman and ensures that both parties honor the agreement. It's just like when you are transacting on a P2P, peer-to-peer transaction. All right? Maybe you bought using your fiat currency, you bought a certain token with your fiat currency. Now, if it is P2P, yes, these transfers will happen by your authorization. This guy pays you fiat currency, and now you are releasing your digital asset to him. Now, it happens automatically, but however, there must be honors to that agreement. You will say, okay, I have sent in my fiat currency, and then I honor that agreement by saying, yes, I have received that your fiat currency. And how do I comply to that agreement? Is for me to say, yes, I have received your fiat currency, and by so doing, I give authorization for the digital assets to be sent to you. So transactions are secured without intermediaries. They are executed automatically. Another thing that the blockchain does is that it gives you protection against unauthorized copying. Blockchain doesn't prevent copying of digital files. All right, this is quite how will I put it? It's quite dicey. All right, it doesn't prevent copying of digital files, but it does prove who owns the original or authentic version. Look, you having my wallet address does not give you access to my wallet address. Take my wallet address anywhere, it is still my wallet address. You cannot have ownership of my wallet address except you have access to my private keys. So it will always prove that Moses is the owner of this wallet. However, like I will say, it will not put my name. But at the back end, they know that, okay, it is me, without a name or without a face, that owns this. I'm the original owner of that wallet. So the authenticity, the authentic version is with me, even though you can copy my wallet address, use it to make your researches, but it is still my own. Nobody can take over it. So look at blockchain like a digital certificate of authenticity. Even if someone copies an image, only the blockchain owner holds the real image. Let's talk about the NFT. Only the owner of that NFT has the original and recognized version by blockchain. It can never be yours. All right. Now let me use an example of an NFT. Now let's take an example. When a digital artist now mints an original NFT of their work, others may copy the file. All right, but that does not mean the NFT holder loses that file. No, he has the verifiable copy of that artistic design that he has made. And don't be surprised, even despite that there's unauthorized copy, there's that certain level that it will go that you cannot even copy without authorization. You must pay for such services. So in summary, how blockchain helps is that, number one, we have proven ownership. It is transparent. It is time-stamped. It is recorded on the public ledger, and you cannot delete anything. Now, transferring ownership. When you want to transfer your asset to somebody, smart contracts handles that transfer and makes it very secure and makes it an automatic transfer without any third party. I talked about preventing fraud. It is immutable and it is a verifiable data on the blockchain, which ensures authenticity. And then protecting rights. Creators can embed royalties or usage terms in smart contracts. You have a limitation on whatever the creator has done. So there's that embedded royalty that is attached to the creator of that sort of digital art or digital item. So that's how blockchain helps us to control ownership. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Obade, for this detailed and in-depth explanation. And here is the thing. You know, now that big AI companies like OpenAI, Amazon, Meta, on the most advanced AI models, centralized control raises issues of fairness, bias, and monopoly. My question here is, who holds the power? Mrs. Boloma, who currently owns or controls the most powerful AI systems? And why does this matter, especially for us here in Nigeria?
Thank you, Ibrahim. The most powerful AI systems are currently owned or controlled by a mix of tech giants and innovative startups. But then I want to mention some key out of the many top players of top AI companies that we have. Like you rightly said, OpenAI are the developers of ChatGPT, GPT-4. This is a highly advanced natural language processing AI model that is capable of generating human-like text, messages, assisting in coding, content creation, and research. Then we have what we call Google DeepMind, is a creator of AlphaFold, which predicts protein structures with near perfect accuracy. And we equally have Gemini, a sophisticated multimodal system for processing diverse data types. When we come to Tesla, Tesla is a developer of full self-driving, vehicles. And these vehicles, the Tesla vehicle provides real-time traffic data analysis. That is why it's self-driven. So wherever it goes, it senses, the sensors uses, the sensor it uses identifies where there's a traffic jam, or there's a traffic light that says stop and what have you. And so it is adaptive to decision making on its own due to the usage of artificial intelligence. We equally have the IBM. We all know IBM computers in those days. It is still within. This one offers an all AI-powered business intelligence with Watson, providing data analysis and data analytics, and equally healthcare solutions, and with other capabilities. We have NVIDIA is another AI, one of the top AI companies as well. This one is a leader in AI-powered GPUs. It enhances training and real-time processing for deep learning, and then the gaming as well. We equally have Microsoft, which offers open AI services as well. We equally have Anthropic, developer of cloud. This is a conversational artificial intelligence focused on safety, ethics, and user experience. The Amazon is there for us, which provides web services for building and deploying AI applications, which includes chatbots and machine learning models as well. But then, why does it matter? The ownership and control of powerful AI systems have significant implications. One, innovation. These companies drive advancements in artificial intelligence research and development. They push boundaries of what it's possible with artificial intelligence. As we all know, artificial intelligence will virtually end up taking up most jobs in the world. We equally have the economic impact, why it matters. The AI adoption is growing rapidly, with projections estimating that the global AI software itself would reach almost $407 billion by 2027. And then when we look at the job market, like I said earlier, AI may automate repetitive tasks, but it will also create new job opportunities for innovators and inventors as well. So in as much as we have issues may arise out of ethics and responsibilities. So the development and deployment of AI systems raise important questions. I saw a robot of a female, like taking place, I mean, somebody buying it in place of having, maybe getting a wife. So you can imagine the issue of ethics coming to be. I think in China, I saw one video as well that children are produced, babies are produced using artificial intelligence. So the issue of question of ethics and responsibility comes into play. So it raises a lot of important questions about ethics, safety, and accountability. So whatever innovation that you have has its own advantages and disadvantages. Thank you.
All right. AI is fast taking over the world. There is this quotation I remember now. Somebody told me that AI is not displacing jobs. AI is not taking over the jobs of people, but only people who do not or are not conversant or don't want to acclimatize themselves with the needs of modernity. These are the people that will be thrown off or knocked off balance by AI. So that is why platforms like this are created to get us acquainted with the knowledge. Now, Mr. Obaje, when we talk about Web3, you know that Web3 refers to the next generation of the internet that you have said that is decentralized and emphasizes user ownership, privacy, and control over data instead of relying on centralized platforms like Web2. Now, how can Web3, Web3 tools give users more power in online platforms?
All right. Thank you. Web3, just like you rightly mentioned, is the next evolution of the internet. There is no doubt about it. So that our users can own, control, and monetize their data. Now, rather than just being consumers of products that are on centralized platforms. All right. Now, Web3 tools, based on knowledge, give users more power in online platforms by shifting control from centralized corporations and towards individuals through decentralized technologies like blockchain, smart contracts, token-based governance. So basically, more power is coming into the hands of individuals through decentralization. That's what Web3 tools will give to individuals. Now, like we rightly mentioned, number one, we talked about true ownership of digital assets. Users today, as we speak, they own NFTs, they own tokens or other on-chain assets in their personal wallets. It's not their personal bank. It's not a centralized system. So why it matters also is because assets are no longer locked to any platform and can be transferred, can be sold or used anywhere, which signifies true ownership of that asset. Number two, we have what is called user-controlled identity. User-controlled identity. This is whereby I think there are tools that are used of recent. I learned about one of a tool like Ethereum name service, which allow users to control their online identity across applications. It is used to control online identity across a lot of applications. Now, that simply means users won't solely rely on maybe Facebook or Apple or Google to log into certain online applications. And so no one can revoke your identity. Now, those of us who are knowledgeable in the crypto space, you can use one wallet and identity to access multiple decentralized applications on a certain wallet without creating new accounts or handing over your personal data to anybody. No, you can just use one wallet and you access multiple decentralized apps, which we call dApps. So that's to tell you that users are now gaining controlled identity over centralized systems. And then data ownership and monetization. In Web3, users can decide who can access their data. Just like we're talking about body scan AI. At a point in time, researchers will need health data. And at that point in time, because of the Web3 technology, users can now decide who they will give their data out to in return for financial gains. Yes. You want my data, you pay me for that data, and I give that data out. Okay, you want to maybe carry a research on brain tumor, for an example, and the body scan AI has been used to scan my body system and has brought out insights about brain tumors based on the scan it conducted on me. And you are looking for data with regards to brain tumor. Now I have that data, which is anonymized. It's my own personal data. Nobody has access to it except me alone. And you as a researcher, you are looking for such data. I'm willing to give out my data, but you must pay for me to give you that data. So that means the data is my own and I can monetize that data. Now, why it matters is that you are not the product, you are the owner of the product. I think there are platforms like Lens Protocol or Ocean Protocol let users own social data. They allow users on that platform to own social data or sell it on data marketplaces. So that's one of the things that Web3 tools is helping to bring forth. Then we have decentralized governance. Because as we speak today, there are certain token holders can vote on proposals to shape the direction of the platform that builds that token. It's just like body scan AI. I could remember categorically that the community said we have a logo already designed when body scan AI came into existence. The logo that body scan AI is carrying today is from the community. The community said this is the logo that we want this token to carry. And the developers have no any other option than to take up that logo and use that logo. That is decentralized governance. Holders have a right to shape the direction or to shape some sort of rules regarding a certain token. So in a nutshell, users become stakeholders, not just users. They become stakeholders. Just like if you go to Uniswap today, you can vote for future changes. In fact, I could remember, just let me still make reference to body scan AI again. When the website was designed and deployed, the community said, no, this design of this website, it is not in tandem with the logo. We need you to change the face of the website to be in tune with the logo. And they did that. That is decentralized governance, and it is all Web3. So users are not just solely users, they now become stakeholders. They have a stake, they have a say, they have a voice as far as the space is concerned. And then we have open source and interoperability. Web3 platforms are built on open source code and public blockchains. Anyone can build on it. That's why we have the layer 1 blockchain, we have the layer 2 blockchain, we have the layer 3 blockchain. Anybody can go and build on the layer 1 blockchain, all right? Which, because of that, it reduces what we call lock-in and monopolistic control. You cannot go to a bank and say you want to build another bank inside that bank. It's not possible. But on Web3, there is this open protocols and interoperability. There is that relationship, all right? You can build apps on top of decentralized finance protocols, all right, without permission from a corporation. No. You don't need any permission from a certain corporation. It's just like you now go to a bank. Let me use Nigeria as a case study, Zenith Bank, and say you want to create another bank inside Zenith Bank. That protocol will have to go back to central bank. A lot of things have to change. But in Web3, that is not done. We have what we call open protocols and interoperability. And then we have censorship resistance. Now, when content that is stored on a decentralized storage and is controlled by smart contract, you cannot easily take it down. The project might look okay, it might look okay, it is dead, but in the real sense, it is still existing. Oh. It might not be functional, but it is still existing on that smart contract. Why? Because there is that censorship resistance. It protects the right of the creator of that contract.
All right, thank you very much.
It is open. It is open.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Obaje. Now, we are running out of time, but let me come back to Mrs. Poloma. We were earlier, talking about the people or the entity that controls AI. Now, you know that AI is like creating a dichotomy or an incongruence between the rich and the poor, or should I say the powerful and the weak. So how do we ensure fairness in the use of this AI?
Thank you, Tochukwu, for this question. As AI grows smarter, how can we make sure that it is being fairly used and not just by the rich or the powerful? Yes, as I earlier on told us, you saw the top AI companies, you understand? Mm. And by looking at that, what comes to mind is that this, the space is controlled by the high and the mighty, the powerful, the rich and the powerful, yeah. But then in ensuring fairness and equitable use of AI, it requires multifaceted approach. The accessibility of whatever product or project that comes out of AI is the end use that I think we should be bothered about. For example, I will still cite an example with body scan AI. By the time that app The token now is accessible to anybody. It is still at its lowest market cap. So anybody can afford to buy the token. The same way, when phones came into being, we were like thinking probably the people in the village cannot access phones and what have you. But today, the scenario has changed. So for somebody to have a phone and then either Android or an iOS device that will handle somebody's health, when that app, that body scan AI will deploy on iOS and Android, I think it will be available for everybody to use, whether you are in the village, or whether you are the high or the low, as long as you have a phone and internet connection. Because as of today, the people in, the smart agriculture, you know, when they are giving fertilizer to people in the village, you know, the allocation is made via their phones. So I think there's need for public awareness as well. And then accountability, even for the top companies that do research and come up with these projects that has to do with artificial intelligence. But then there are some potential solutions that we should look at. Open source AI is developed as open source. The framework is there. The tools are there. I will still go back to body scan AI. Once the app is developed, is your phone. You own your phone. You will learn by being educated, you learn how to utilize that phone to take your body scan, to check your health status at any given point in time. And AI, as far as I'm concerned, focuses on AI solutions that addresses pressing social needs. For example, the body scan AI, that the app will soon be developed to tackle our healthcare. Education is there on open, all for good social good services. And then we encourage inclusiveness and environmental sustainability as well. So as far as we're concerned, as AI develops, it will cater for humanity, not just the high and the mighty or the rich in the society. So by prioritizing fairness, transparency, and accountability, we can ensure that artificial intelligence is developed and deployed in ways that will benefit the society as a whole, not just a few, selected few. Thank you.
This is Shifra Poloma, our digital mama, Mr. Moses Obaje, AI. All right, AI prof.
Today is a prof.
No, of course, digital mama, Mr. Moses Obaje, our AI prof. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you for sharing your insights on digital ownership, cryptocurrency, AI, blockchain, and then Web3. Thank you very much for that wonderful insight. And that's all from us today on Blockchain World. Remember that these are expert instructors. The people I have mentioned their names are expert instructors at Digital Assets Management Academy based in Abuja, an institution dedicated to making sure that you are updated with the things that pertains to digital assets, blockchain, cryptocurrency, AI, and whatever. So always tune in every Wednesday at 11 o'clock a.m. so that you will continue to be acquainted with things that pertains to AI and the blockchain world. Thank you very much, Mr. Ibrahim Umawase, my co-host.
Thank you, Mr. Rafael. Thank you, Mr. Obaje. Thank you, Mrs. Shipra.
Thank you.
All right, these technologies are changing how we live, how we work, and how we connect. And understanding them helps us to take control of our digital future. Thank you once again for tuning in, and we will see you next time as we keep exploring the world of blockchain and beyond. See you next time.